Now let's learn about the next natural resource, that is water. Now here is an activity. Try this. Observe how much water is used and for what purpose it is used in your house for a whole day. Now record it, that is write it down in a chart like the one shown here. Discuss this data in the class. So all of you all the students collect and discuss as to what was the various, how much water was used for the various purposes in each one's house. Now divide the total amount of water used in your house by the number of persons in your house to find out how much water each person needs. By the previous activity, we will see that it is almost impossible for us to spend even a single day without water. We need to drink 3 to 4 liters of water every day so that all our bodily functions run smoothly and we don't fall sick. So our body requires a lot of water during the day. Not only human beings, but even other living things also require water, although the amount of water they need may vary or may depend on the size of the body. Like elephants and tigers are huge animals, so they require a lot of water. Than cats, squirrels, dogs, they require less water. Thus, we see that water is very, very important for all living things on this earth. How is water formed? If hydrogen gas burns in air, it combines with oxygen and water is formed. Let's learn the characteristics of water. Now, in nature, water occurs in three states, that is, solid state, liquid state, and the gaseous state. Water does not have color or taste or odor, that is, it does not have any smell. Many substances readily dissolve in water. Most of the things we can dissolve in water. Therefore, water is a universal solvent. What is universal solvent means? It can dissolve many of the substances. That is why it is called as a universal solvent. We learned that all living things on this earth require water. Nobody can live without water. Now, the blood of animals, that is, not only all animals but even human beings, and the sap in plants contain a very high proportion of water. A lot of water is required by all living things. No living thing can survive without water. Therefore, it is said that water is life. We know that 71% of the earth is surrounded by water. Now water is not of the same form. Now it is available in the seas and the oceans, in the form of streams and rivers, and also in the form of ice. Now let's learn what is the proportion of each of this. Now seas and oceans comprise of 97% of the water on this earth, as well as groundwater, ice, and water in other forms is 2.7%. And water available for drinking, that is the fresh water, that water that we can use in our homes, is only 0.3%. Okay, so we cannot use all the water on the earth because seawater is salty, and some water is in the frozen state, that is it is in the form of snow, in the form of ice on the mountain tops. A very small quantity of water is available for drinking, yet it is enough for all living things. It is enough for all of our needs to sustain us in order that all living things are able to live on this earth. Now observe this picture and say, for what purpose is water being used? Do other living things use water like we do? Now we use water in large quantities. We have learned that water on the earth is regulated through water cycle. We have learned about the water cycle. Water evaporates, forms into clouds, and then it comes down in the form of rain. Now the water vapor formed from the ocean is the main source of water in the water cycle. It gets converted into rain, creating fresh water sources on this earth. What are the natural sources of water? We get water from natural sources such as streams and rivers, ponds, springs, and lakes. Man also digs wells and bore wells to lift the groundwater. Apart from this, man has also constructed bunds and dams of various sizes on the rivers. Let's learn about the scarcity of water. What do you mean by scarcity? The level of water is decreasing day by day. The amount of water that is available on this earth is reducing. Now, this is due to the uncontrolled use of water for an increasing population. Population is increasing, so more and more people means more and more people require more water. Then there is also increase in industries and in farming. It is now in short supply. So, water scarcity has become a very serious problem. So, we have to think about saving water, conserving water, so that this doesn't become a serious problem and we are able to save water. How do we conserve water, or how do we take care of water? Number one, we should use water sparingly. That is, we should not waste water. We should use water only how much, the amount of water that is necessary or required for us. We should not unnecessarily waste water. Second is block water, let it percolate. It means that put bunds or put dams and let the water get collected. Let it go into the ground. Let it sustain so that we can have more wells and we can have more bore wells, and even our plants and other animals can get water. Number three is store water wherever possible. So we should try to store it in the form of our big dams and reservoirs. Also, we can have small natural ponds created where we can store the water. And fourth is reuse water wherever possible. Remember that stored water does not become stale, it doesn't get spoiled. So we can store water for a very long time and use it whenever we require.